Hello, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. You know, how long we been at this? I mean, the ones in the know and the ones involved in the spiritual war. 3 to 5 years, at least. Safely say that? Safely say that? And yet there are those who still, what's important is what you think I am, or who you think I am. It's better that you come to such conclusions on your own accord than to have me plant ideas in your head so that you can go through mental and spiritual gymnastics to understand something that's really not to be understood in the reality of which we live. It's like the Twilight Zone. I can fully understand why you wouldn't want to understand with your battles and the angels arguing with me, setting up situations, beating the hell out of me sometimes. I mean, you wouldn't even understand. I figured that it had got to the point that even the devil had to be laughing because it was an irony. This guy loves you so much that he would not dare accept what you are asking him to accept because he fears that it will be blasphemy against you and to spread their energy. But they don't like to be around others or to come outside or around others because of their negative energy. You're kind of right for them, and you're half right for me. But anyway, that ain't really what I want to talk about. I was thinking, you do understand. Let me speak to the people of America generally, on a spiritual level, a biblical level. You don't have to believe or not. Now, how the hell you don't believe it beyond created Adam? God created Adam in his image. In his image. Now, stay in the car with me. Adam was a black man. Adam is the beginning of the Negro race. This is before the flood and anything that happened after Noah. The black man was always there. I want you to hear me. I don't want you to get us stuck on he's saying God is black if he's made in God's image. Because it's dead serious. It's dead serious. So Eve was never the target. Adam always was. He just understood Adam is going to do bad things to me if I ever try to talk to him. Period. He going to either talk to me, he's going to kill the serpent or run away. There would be no conversation. And by the way, the Bible gives even the KJV version gives you the cleaned up version of Adam and Eve. No, Adam went through shit, man. I mean, they went to where the river that flows within God's garden comes from. And they looked into the garden through the hole and they lost their minds and jumped right off the rocks. Right up off the rocks. Now, all of this here happened after his first sighting of the true visual of God's angels. Both of them passed out as if dead. And the angels had to go to them and say, God, I think they dead. they and my child does not understand. He's never gonna understand because I didn't build him to. Okay? He's never gonna. He never stopped begging to get back in the garden. Never. God had to end communion with them several times because they wouldn't stop begging. No means no, nigga. Damn. But there he was, again and again and again. Adam must have fell dead at least twice from just despair alone. He went to talking about the coolness of the water he went to God for that. Basically, say, man, that hot ball in that damn sky, it wasn't there. There where we lived. Why is that there except to burn my ass? Can you do something about that? God points out Adam cave. Go in the cave with the overhanging rocks. This is what he told them. And you will find shade and you will be cool. They take their asses up in the cave. And now it gets dark. Now they really freaking out. Because they ain't never seen darkness like that. The feel for him on the ground. God came to him again and say, and let him know to listen. I have given you night and I have given you day. During the day, the sun will rise and you will see. but during the night, it will be dark because the sun won't be there. There's the moon. So don't ask me about the moon. I'm telling you about the moon already. Like, damn. What else? What else? And this shit's real. He did everything but use the word shall, as in shall bow. And your choice was to not bow. And so that's where the fight starts. So that's where the hatred starts. Devil blames Adam for getting him kicked out of heaven. As if Adam put that darkness in his heart, put them thoughts in his mind. No, that was all him. Some of the thoughts he had never had before. He don't know where that shit came from. He don't know where that shit came from. He wasn't built like that. He just went to tripping. The devil had developed without cause. Adam had done nothing to him. As a matter of fact, Adam talked to the devil at least one time. It wasn't from animosity. He had did so much, and Adam was so damn used to it. You know, the devil had felt comfortable on this particular time. And Adam seen him, or the serpent, and he asked this fool, say, man, what I done to you? What makes you hate me so much that you have tried to put me in the cold ground several times? My rightful place, doing what I do. Number one beside God. Because Jesus hadn't arrived yet. Jesus hadn't arrived yet. Devil come later. A couple of thousand years later, actually. But that's where it all starts. And the same hatred for the Negro that exists in the world today, including America, is of the same strain, is the transference of the evil of the hatred from Adam, your father, their father, to you. Maybe carrying too much melanin in their skin. This is just historical. And anyway, let's move beyond that because I'm going up the road. Now, you know of the history. You know of the crime, and America for us is a big-ass crime scene. America is a prison and a crime scene. Everywhere you go for our black ass is a crime scene. Trust me on that. America is a crime scene, a continuing crime scene. And the investigation is over. Yes, but there's no other way of explaining your hatred, which brings me to my next point. Politics. Here's how it plays out on the political stage. Let's take, for say, example, reparations. Reparations. In your face and in your history, you have given everybody so much money based on race and wrongs that you have committed against them. Only when it comes to the Negro do you stud up and say, man, it can't be done. It's politically, and you turn theory into fact by acting out within the theory that you yourself created. I'm too smart by half, ain't I? This is why you never should have let niggas start reading. If I'd have been there, I would have told you. If I'd ever found a nigga with an ink pen, a pad, a book, or anything else, I am breaking fingers. They gonna learn, but a whole lot of shit. But reading won't be one of them. Reading won't be one of them. It's too late for that, though, huh? Too late. So, based upon what I've said, which is factual, you can level. Your ass ain't been tested yet. You ain't been tested. And I would tell all of the other states and those within those states and cities, stop what you're doing. There's no use in us having a mishmash, posh of some cities agreeing to reparations and other cities not. Some states agreeing, and we're not going there with you. No, you're going to do this at the federal level. And all the states are going to, through their representatives, agree. I know you may not think that now. Or do you? Because I'm twisting your arm pretty damn hard here. Word. If you don't believe all of the word, then quite actually, you really don't believe any of the word. And that's a fact. I think my father would actually agree. We don't always agree. We really don't. I be on my own shit sometimes. And he'll start doing stuff or asking me stuff that make too much sense. And I don't like that. I don't like it when man can make because I've been made sense of it already. I've been thought it through 1,000 different times from 1,000 different angles. I got this. Therefore, I justified it by all of them fucking agreeing either by their action or their non-action that this is the scope of the plan, this is the path, and by acquiescence, they agree. What more can I do? They signed the papers. Oh, man, anyway, man, at this point, I'm just getting something off my chest that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm actually talking about here. Reparations. So you feel like a country, a union, a conglomerate, do I have to really count this up? But let's not get stuck there. Because again, you want to control the narrative without understanding this is a time you won't. This is a time that you won't is because you have to justify your own end by your inaction or your action. Just like everything else, even me. Even me. And you ain't special. You're only special in the social structure that you have built for yourself on a socio-political level. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to be racist or in the real history, that type of thing. That type of thing. Are we going to tell them how to wear their hair? We're going to tell them, and which, I mean, you know, you dug for yourself a hole, sir. If you can tell a man what to do, then you own that man effectively. Now, would that make sense to you? You still exude ownership over the population, at least on that patriarchal level. That exudes ownership. You know what the Bible says about ownership? See, here we is again. Do you believe in the Bible or not? Because then they'll have conflict upon the world stage and in this country until it pops off anyway. This is why we don't allow man to go too far in his decision making, because he tends to mess shit up generationally. A bunch of old men get together, talk about the lives and the fates of the young men They even willing to send them out to war for corporations. Power. Not because they were defending anything. Not because they were defending anything. But anyway, I'm off the beaten path. I mean, that booming voice of the Bible and the booming voice right here. And no one asks you to do anything. No one asks you not to resist. No one asks you to put a label on it. But most definitely, it's not something that you should try to stop through the further brainwashing of the people. What you gonna have your kids doing? Walking around lying like you do while you stealing and not calling it stealing, but calling it some other fancy word you done came up with? And what was it the other 250 times? This time by gunfire, hangman's noose. That carries a hefty punishment. Hefty. But back to what I'm saying. So after doing all of this, you think that we would submit what we argue to your court, to your political process, to the very ones who have caused it? You really think that they would think we think like men, or that we have no choice like men. I don't think that they even regard the ones who have no choice like men as men. I'm pretty sure of it. That's why they keep doing shit. Because the man who don't have anything can't stop him. You see. So you, let me get, man, listen. I'm a child of integration, and I'm just kind of just scratching my damn head. So let me get this straight. You think, and I can see why others in this country think this way now, because you think the same way. You think that you should keep the property and the wealth and the land that you have acquired, even though you realize that it was stolen, murdered for, and other things. Genocide and ethnic cleansing is the only way I can get this land. And that's what I did. And he got it. Now, here's his name, and want me to take you to him, because I ain't scared. I'm going to be a snitch today. A well-known one. So what do you require? You won't be able to beat us on the evidence, quite frankly. And it's becoming even more evident. I mean, even more clear that you're not going to even try, because there's no argument to be made. At least you get that part. So let's get right past it then. Right on through it. You're not making an argument. You have a power dynamic that you really can win against. And again, man, factor in all of the variables. When you're wrong, you're wrong. At least that's what you told us. That's why you made all of these laws. If you do this, you go to jail. If you do this, you go to jail. I can't even hurt myself and not go to jail. Hell, I can call a suicidal hotline and be sitting on my porch with the rifle barrel in my mouth and still get executed by the police. What the hell are you saying? Subjectively. Speak the facts. That's gonna offend you too. Put the facts into context. That's gonna offend you too. So like I was saying, it becomes evidently clear that your arm has to be twisted more. I keep saying, we're not asking. Damn. And I know you know what we mean when we make that statement. Because generally, and I'm going to stop doing this after today, that's not the real question either. Man, go get a Bible. You ain't doing nothing else on a Sunday besides drinking goddamn beer and barbecuing and looking at that. So I'm going to look at the facts. I'm going to refute I'm going to refuse the facts and make the argument political, as in, well, if we pass reparations, it's going to alienate the base, and then we're going to lose our position because the base is not going to vote for us. So now it takes an ugly turn. Now it turns to, so you would rather watch 40 4 million of us suffer, continue at this rate so you won't lose your job. So you won't lose your political position. Maybe the problem is too many people. Or maybe it's you. You there to lead. And now to turn, and you're really not talking about the people anyway. You're talking about you from your respective culture or cultures who feel this way. Do I have to call you by name? Because that's when shit gonna get ugly. And if I call you by name, I may as well spend the next 20 minutes going on down that road. Call them all out by name, by race, and by what they've done historically, by race. But that wouldn't be nice on generationally. And then came the flood. And then came Noah. And then came all them other people from Noah's loins, or the loins of his sons, with strange. Anyway, sorry, Noah. I don't even want to let Noah make it. All them damn sons. Not today. Not today. But we gonna let Noah make it. It didn't. Noah's predicament did not help the Negro. In fact, it brought on what would be eventually enslavement at the hands of Noah's sons. We will not have this be submitted to your feelings politically when we know all of you come from racist cultures and the whole world damn near have enslaved black at one stage or the other. All of you, period. All of you. Well, there's a couple of groups, just a couple. But 80% of the world was engaged in this shit at one time or the other. Now, so back to the political side of it. Because you'll make your argument. They want us to accept that the power in this democracy that's driven by a multitude of people who hail from racist countries and racist backgrounds get to have a decision as to if we eat or not, if we are housed or not. Is that your argument? See, this is what we would have to beat the living hell out of this guy. He actually makes this argument. I mean, it's almost gangster. If it wasn't so, each other. I guess in a safe zone. I don't know. I'm not here to besmirch the classes, but to let those who would be understand that we're not getting involved in that. We don't care about your politics. We don't care about the politics of it. We don't care about the arguments you're going to make. What we care about and where we really could make some headway here. I got 13 minutes, okay? 13 minutes. I'm going to try not to use them all. We know who got the money. We know who got the money. Whether you like it or not. I can't put my hands on you, but I can access your pocketbook. I can access your bank account, though. See, I already know if I come to you straight, you're going to whoop my ass. But if I come to you crooked, as in put that paper in your goddamn life, you're going to have my money. Else it's going to start costing you money. And we all know how much you love money. So we know who got the money and who owe the money. The question became, well, is it the U.S. citizens who owe the money? Or is it the U.S. government federally that owe the money? Well, it's the U.S. government. Fake piece of paper. It's a contractual understanding. Once everybody start to understand it, then it start to have some value. But you have to agree to it first. Enough of you do, and then everybody else have to suffer. But who got the money? And who owes the money? U.S. government, and if you want to say the U.S. citizens and its residents, if your ass is here, you're going to be paying that money. Okay? If not you, then you don't understand how economics around here work. You won't even notice it. But you'll still be paying it. So it's not 5 trillion, especially when you know that it's there. So who has the money? Well, we know the government broke, but they don't care. They're going to have some money anyway. All y'all walking around here broke as hell and think you got some money. Me too. You ain't got no money. That's a debt note. Get that shit out of here. Man, what are you trying to give me? Artwork? He gives me artwork. Little little pieces of artwork. But we know who also owes the money. And I'm going to do this for the U.S. government and the world. The very people of the Bible to our idea of fraud, both extrinsic fraud and intrinsic fraud. So they owe the money too. Okay? But we're going to go further than that. We're going to go further than them. We're going to go back to their granddaddies with names like Rothschild, those types of rich guys who stole the money. In fact, the money didn't need. They the one who had came up with the whole idea of money. And then they've been running it ever since like gangsters. So they got free money and they charge you for your money. Y'all know they don't really have shit to do with this. But man, listen, someone has to think for you. Someone has to think of for you. You should manage your emotions, first of all. Quit seeing it as a race issue. It ain't a race issue. The nigga ain't never thought of himself as black until he met you. You see what I'm saying? You have the race issue. A nigga didn't look down at his skin one day and say, I'm black. No, you did that. You seen him in his skin and went to calling his skin black. And now he black. You, in your heart, don't want this because you know how that's going to go. It's going to go south really fast and really ugly. And it'll be quite specific in the order and manner of which this calamity acts, this evil that we will visit upon you. And it will be an evil. But before we get there, you you owe the money. You owe the money. And nowhere in that Bible does God say beg you for the money, quibble for you. Just now, like at your kitchen tables. Maybe you should start them now. You hear me? Why not start the discussion at home? Because you're going to pay this money. Okay? You are going to pay this money. And, I don't know what else to tell you. If it wasn't written, then I would have no interest in it. It's more than just a movement. No, they call it reparations. I call it you will come out of her with great wealth, meaning $18 trillion worth of it. Give a toll. We're going to end that there. I'm sure that you understand exactly what I'm saying. Ain't nowhere else to go with this. I've been saying this a month. Once a certain shoe dropped, it's full steam ahead. Nothing is safe. So don't let nothing like power and race and prestige delude you into thinking that you can continuously do what you do in harm of us and there not be repercussions. There will be repercussions from here on out. From here on out. Just ask the proper question and we'll help you. But the idea that you're not going to do it, that's not an option. I'm source. I'm seven. I am one.